Pastor Robert, appreciate you, your wife, your kindness. You've been to me on the streets. My name is Duane Lyons, and my nickname is the Street Preacher.
All right.
Raised in Jordan, Kentucky, a town of 30 people. I got born again at a vacation Bible school.
All right.
Went through some teenage years. But every day since I was born again, when I was 10 years old, I thought about God. Every day. Nobody wanted to go drink Jack Daniels with Duane because I'd always end up talking about God. Mama told me, son, I always knowed you was going to be a preacher. I said, why, Mama? She said, you talk different. You play different than other kids.
Yes.
I do want to say that I'm dust. It's all Jesus. God's been good to me. He's merciful. He's good. I want to talk to you a few minutes, and I want to tell you this up front. I want you to try to put out the busy week you've had or the clock for a few minutes. You've got somebody standing before you that God's put a lot in. I know what I'm talking about.
All right.
Because He did it. Now, I've been on my 3 longest fasts. I went on a 40-day fast, I went on a 52-day fast, and I went on an 80-day fast. In 80 days without eating a bite of food, drank some liquid. I've been in 70 countries, in every state in the continental U.S. I'm in this for real. I'm not just a flash in the pan. I'm in this long term. And what I'm going to tell you will encourage you and revolutionize your life. It's real simple, though. But it's a reminder. God has put a lot in me, and I'm thinking, why did He pick me? I have no idea.
Right.
But this ain't just, this is my life. Jesus ain't part of my life. He's all of my life. I started Mount Jordan. I said, I'm going to go to the next town up. I wanted to preach, but they wouldn't let me preach. But they didn't need to. I was new, and they said, I'd give a little testimony, but I actually prayed, God, I just got too much of you living in me. You either open my door or take some of this out of me. I got too much. Right. I got to reading. I read the red. Luke 14:21, the parable of the great supper, King James. So the servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said, Thank you, Pastor. You didn't have to. Go out quickly into the streets and the lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. Verse 23, and the Lord said unto the servant, Go out to the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house be filled. And I looked up the word compelled, constrained, to reach, to teach, to go after, to beg, to crawl, to bawl, to plead. And I got to studying, and I figured something out, that Jesus was a street preacher.
Yeah.
You don't hear that a lot, but if you look where Jesus was most of the time, it wasn't in the synagogue. Out on the boat, and out in the cornfield, and out in the valley, and up on the mountain, and in the garden, by the well.
That's right.
And then I kept studying, and John the Baptist was a street preacher.
Yes.
Apostle Paul was a street preacher.
Yes.
And God spoke to me, and He said, Duane, you're a street preacher.
Okay.
And I had my calling. I was a street preacher. So I went out. I'm going to go up to the next town. They had me a sign that said Jesus. I said, I'm just going to go for a week. I'm going to stand out there with this sign because people's pushing and shoving. And it was the blue light special was going on at Kmart, and they were just knocking. I even heard a story where the baby got turned over in a grocery cart. He was wrestling over something. The light was flashing. They wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any money. And I failed English my first 3 years of high school and had quit school. I couldn't read. I had no education, but I went up there and was going to stand a week. And a week turned into 40 years, and the next town turned into 70 nations. Because I never stopped.
All right.
And back when I was younger, I'm 59. It's all natural, there's no steroid. These are my teeth. This is my hair. I had these, them's your teeth? I said, yeah, that's my teeth, this is my hair. Whatever you worship, you lose. And I used to always be looking in the mirror, combing my hair and think, man, I look like Elvis. Well, we know that worked there, didn't it? I go in nightclubs during intermission. I'd stand up in a chair and preach a few scriptures and try to get up out of there before the police got there. They'd walk me over after I got done. One time I preached and their bouncers come and I said, I'm almost done, let me finish. God's fire, your wax, sir. But I lay your hand on the man of God. They let me finish. And I stepped down and said, you're going to have to go. I said, all right, I'm ready to go. He said, we're going to run over here. We're going to run your hand on that scanner. If it don't come up with that mark that you paid to get in, $2, you're going to go to jail. I said, all right. They run out there and hit flash. I paid $2 to preach.
Amen.
Blind man made me this cross. Because it was too hard to get in a nightclub with this 6-foot cross I had. I could hide this. He came out and gave it to me. I'd never been out of the country, never been nowhere. I didn't have a passport. God told me you'll go all over the world. And I, one day in Columbus, Nebraska, put a ring in it, got out and looked in the mirror and said, all right. It was a little thing. It took him 3 days to make a cross. He was blind.
Yeah.
But I believe that he's got a blessing coming.
Amen.
It's been in thousands of newspapers, television, been all over the world. This cross has been up in the head of the Statue of Liberty, in the top of the World Trade Center the year before they tragically come down. Been on the Empire State Building. It's been in Israel. It's been in the Garden Tomb. It's been on the Temple Mount. Is this a message?
Yes.
I got back out of North Dakota and the Lord spoke and I said, where do you want me to go? He said, I want you to go to Steele, Missouri. And I counted my money. I had $40. Man, that's not a lot of money. I spent it all on that long trip. But I didn't try to figure it out. I knew that TK Extreme had some property at the end of the lot down here, and I drove up and parked, and I went to the truck stop and slept in my pickup that night, filled up with gas that morning, went in there and told the brothers, the Sikh Indians, that I filled up, I want to take a shower. And they said, well, that's only if you get diesel and you fill $300 or $400 with a truck. I said, well, I'm a Christian, and the Lord had told me to ask y'all. They said, all right, go ahead and take one. $8 is a lot. That's 16 sodas over at the Food Giant. That's 8 packs of that 99-cent honey ham where you get 4 slices for 99 cents. You got crackers. That's a full meal right there.
Yes, sir.
I went down here and got on the corner, and I had just got there. And first lady pulled up. I didn't know who she was. I said, do you know who this T&K ministry, who the people that own that? I met a lady here once. I want to find her. She said, I'm the lady.
Oh, wow. Yep.
See, God said, Duane, go,
Yes.
and I'll make a way for you.
That's right.
I'm not going to make the way before you go.
Go.
Because a lot of people won't never go. They got to raise a ton of money. I'll go overseas sometime and get out in another country and got $100 in my pocket. I went to Europe, had $1,100, traveled through 18 nations, and come back and had $1,100 in my pocket.
Praise the Lord.
On the same.
And God told me something once that helped me. He said, wherever you go in the church, you're either going to speak, they're going to give you the offering, or they're going to set up a meeting. One time I went to this Church of God, and they had the fella that wrote the magazine for the whole International Church of God. He was the writer for them. I mean, he was really famous, and he was the guest speaker. No, they wasn't going to speak. They didn't know if they'd set up a meeting. I sure wasn't going to give me the offering. This fella was world known. He got up there and he really preached, and I helped him, and they got done. The bishop said, that was a really good message. We're really proud of you. Did everybody enjoy that? And they said, yeah. And he said, that was so good, we're going to give the street preacher your offering. Woo! Where God guides, he provides.
That's right.
And when he sends you, what he orders, he pays for. And what you order, you pay for. I don't want to get off track here. There's some suffering involved here. Brother, bring this up here. I'm going to show you where I took a shower this morning. I'm going to have my shower brought up here. All right. When I got in town, thank you, sir. I walked to the other end of town and went in the lumber company. Said, I need a bucket with a lid. And they said, all right. And they said, there's your bucket. And I said, how much is it? They said, no charge. We just gonna give it to you. There's my little dipper pail. I got my soap in there. I got a little water in there. I learned how to take a 5-gallon shower in Haiti. Been to Haiti 9 times. Now, a lot of times I got a shower, but when I don't, I got my bucket. My bucket was wild, and the Lord gave me another one. God provided. I slept in the truck. I got a twin mattress in the back of the truck, slept like a baby. Then it got hot. I moved up front. It's double cab. I could run air and then go to sleep. But I come out of church the other night, I believe it was after I left here, and they done pulled me a big travel trailer out on the property and had it plugged in. I'm laying in a big bed, air blowing on me.
That's all.
It's nice.
But sometimes we have to wait on God.
Amen.
Now, don't feel sorry for me. I like my shower. You can smell me. I'm clean. How'd I look? I'm clean, don't I?
Praise God. Praise God.
I just didn't want to talk about money and talk about things and get you off track to think that there's not some suffering involved. Jesus suffered. He said that if we suffer with him, we'll reign with him. If I would have waited, I'd still been in Jordan. Luke 19:10 says the Son of Man came to seek and save that which was lost. What I want to tell you, there's no greater 2 words to ever preach than Jesus saves. I met some people, and God told me, I've become a psychologist or sociologist, and I'm making all kinds of money. I see you years later, and you're doing the same thing. You're still a street preacher. You're not a pastor. You're not an evangelist. You're not a bishop. He said, you're at the lowest level. I said, well, I got a BA and a DDOSG. I've been born again, and I got a double dose of the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
Jesus was a street preacher.
Amen.
Oh, I mean, I'm a street preacher. I like what I do. If Lord called me back in the room back there, and he said, Duane, I'll give you anything you want. I'll let you be anything you want to be. I'll make you president of the United States. I'll make you the heavyweight champion of the world. I'll let you win the Super Bowl. I say, Lord, I want to be a street preacher.
Go.
I like me. I like what I do. Pastor, he likes to preach. You see it on him, too. I like being a street preacher. I got here and I had a little money and I decided I went go down to the beauty shop one day, and I went in there, took the sign, and I said, well, I want to tell everybody Jesus saves. How y'all doing? Looked around a minute, and the people was crying. I don't know what they was crying about. They passed a hat and gave me $50.
Praise the Lord.
That's all right.
I went in the flower shop, and I had my old sign. It's kind of getting a little rickety. I used to have 4 or 5 of them. The fellow said, right here on Main, he said, you got another one of them signs? I thought maybe he was wanting one. I said, no. I said, they all wore out. So this is the last one I got. He took a picture of it, measured it. He said, well, I just ordered you 2 more.
Wow.
Praise the Lord.
All right.
Share it for us.
Where God guides, He provides. God maybe hadn't asked you to go all over the world, but just go and do, and He'll make a way for you.
Yes, we will.
You're looking at a man that knows what he's talking about. Now, what's my gift? There's nobody on earth that I can't go up and witness to. Nobody. I got there in Palestine one time. I had an Assembly of God missionary with me, and I counted. There was either 10 to 14 right guns pointing at us. I just did a quick count. I'm going to call it 12. He said, man, this is like a movie, Street Preacher, but we in it. I said, yeah, we in it. But he said, guess what? We fixing to get shot, and we're going to see God. And we're going into the international headquarters of the Palestinian Authority, and we're going to witness about Jesus. Either way, we fit to see a miracle.
Amen. That's true.
They carried us in there. They sent a black limousine, and we was running 90 miles an hour in the alley. Maybe we was running 60. I exaggerated. I'm an evangelist, but it seemed like 90 when you were in a tiny alley running in a black limousine. And we went in there, and I told them, well, they called first, and I talked to the Secretary of State and wondered who we were. They had us at the card check. I said, we're ambassadors from America. Oh, no. We're going to send a car. They came. Well, I wasn't lying. We are. After we got there, I told them we're ambassadors for Jesus Christ. And I saw 2 of the leading people of that whole started crying. I said, you really brave? I said, I love you. I love Yasser Arafat. I love everybody. I love drug addicts. I love whoremongers. I love prostitutes. I love homosexuals. I love lesbians. I love the Black Panthers. I love Klan members. I love everybody.
Amen.
I want everybody to be saved.
Amen.
I said, sir, we want to match your zeal. You got a lot of zeal in Islam, and I respect you, have differences. I know you believe in Jesus. They believe he's a prophet, but we believe a lot more. But I said, we will match your zeal, sir. We just come here and we love you. We lived, we witnessed, walked out there. The limousine was gone. The taxi was clear on the other side of town. We were walking through Gaza City. But we were alive.
Amen.
Got back to the border, and they arrested us for abandoning our cab and not paying it. I said, we didn't know where we were. And I pulled that picture out with a signed copy of Yasser Arafat's picture, and they took the handcuffs off. He said, are you going to pay? I said, as soon as he finishes the tour. We got back in there and went again. God will make a way.
Yes, He will.
Yes, we will.
I got arrested at an abortion clinic. And somebody told me, there's the doctor. I wasn't chained to the clinic. I didn't trespass. I just had a Bible. It said, there's the doctor. And I read the scripture and I said, sir, I know you think you're doing your job, but you're going to answer for the blood of these children. You're going to answer for your hands. We were right in there and called the police, handcuffed me, took me to jail, run my head into the door of the cell, and said, we forgot to, we're sorry, we forgot to open the cell. That's handcuffed behind my back. 3-story jail. Everybody watching. And they put me in there, and they come in there and took everything out of the cell, took my shoes, barefoot, took all my clothes, they took the blankets, and then 3 days later took me to court. They leg shackled me and hand shackled me and tied me with 10 other men that were murderers and rapists and child molesters. There was only one difference between me and the other 9. Everybody had socks and orange sandals, but I was barefoot. They let me walk outside through the cold and shuffle to the next building and go to court barefoot. Oh, when that chain was hitting that pavement, I was thinking, amazing grace, how sweet sound. I heard that song playing.
Amen.
And I said, they saw so much of Jesus in me that they going to let me walk over here barefoot. They going to bless me with this. I was so thankful. I got in there and just said, where's your shoes, boy? Locked yonder. I said, they took them away from me, sir. Sister D jumped. He lying. He made a lot of trouble. He flushed them down the toilet. The judge told him, sit down and shut up.
Amen.
I was on that committee. We ordered them toilets. You can't hardly flush toilet paper down them toilets.
Yeah, you ain't gonna flush
And they said, get him some shoes. He said, who are you with? What group are you with, sir? He named off. I said, I'm with Jesus Christ. I wasn't chained to the door. I said, well, he trespassed. He said, oh, okay. Put the witnesses up there. Where's the video? There's videos all around the clinic. He trespassed. We're going to get him guilty. And let me have the video. No video. Where's the witnesses? They're not here. He talked to me and I said, they're not going to be here. They're not ever going to be here. Because I didn't break no law. I told that doctor from the Bible. They had another doctor over there had me arrested. Cursed me. Named Dr. Tiller. He's dead now. Somebody shot him. I didn't want him shot. God didn't shoot him. But he reaped. Judge told it all out. You're looking at somebody that spent it's been 30 years since somebody walked by me that I hadn't looked in them. I was talking to a young man last night. He was on the phone back in the deli, long time, and somebody wanted the fork. Later I saw him outside. I said, son, I don't care, but that man got mad. I said, you're going to end up losing your job. I got to know him. I said, you need to get off that phone. So these people worked all day over here at this plant. They run in here and wanted to get some ribs or something. You run out there and get it to them. If you don't like the job, find another. And I said, I love you. I ain't mad at you. He said, well, some people call here and they just talk and on the phone. And I said, now listen, son, look at me. I've been to 70 countries. I've been arrested 43 times. I've been in places that you'd cry as soon as they walked in there. And I went on an 80-day fast. You wasn't talking to no customer. All right? I'm trying to help you, son. Get off the phone. You finally laughed and admitted we're talking on the phone. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to tell you something that whatever I need, God just gonna bring it. I got here and they said, we want you to come down here every day and eat at this buffet down here at Granddaddy's. Come down there every day. I skip a day, they come down there. Where you at? Get off the car and let's go eat. Lady pulled up the other day. She said, I'm not a Christian, but I felt God tell me to bring you a hamburger.
All right.
I thought, my goodness. You're not this woman ain't a Christian. She's out here doing God's work. But we joined hands and she prayed and received Christ.
All right. Hallelujah.
I was here 8 years ago. Will it last? Will it work? I come through 8 years ago and prayed with a lady. She was drunk. She come up on the corner drunk, falling around. She'd been in the nightclub. She'd done everything. And I thought, well, I'm not going to pray with her. She's just too drunk. But the Lord said, no, go ahead. I prayed with her. Got in town. She come up and hugged me. I've been serving God for the last 8 years. I can't save nobody. I can't keep nobody, but Jesus can.
Amen.
I'm just a water boy.
Amen.
I'm just carrying the water.
Right.
I can't keep nobody, but this water, I'm going to tell people about this water. I want to drink this water, the living water. Jesus said, are you
Amen.
thirsty? Are you hungry? You eat the
Amen.
bread of life. You drink from the river of life. You'll never be hungry again.
That's right. And thirsty.
What suffering, a lot of suffering I've done, I brought it on myself. Can you say amen?
Amen.
But I'm going to push to the end. I don't know how much longer the Lord's going to leave me here. I nearly went home a couple of times. I got malaria in Haiti. Years ago, come back, they diagnosed it. You got incurable malaria. You'll never be back on the mission field. You'll never be hot again. I sat in the chair foaming out the mouth, hallucinating. They gave me medicine, my skin, they said it's going to peel off like bark. You're allergic to it. I sat in the chair and prayed. I said, no, I prayed, Lord, take me home. I'm done. I'm a street preacher. I can't do nothing else. Went back. Son, I don't know what to tell you, but you had malaria, but there's no trace of it in you.
Amen.
Caught a staph infection one time. I had a hole, you could put your finger in my back. Almost killed me. I prayed, Lord, let me live. Let me preach. Had an accident one time and busted my head open. They sold me up and didn't give me no antibiotics. I was just barely getting started. Didn't even have a passport yet. Went to hospital, my head swelled double. That night the doctor come in there and sat at the end of my bed and started crying, and he was drunk. When your doctor's sitting on your bed, he's drunk and crying, you got problems, right?
Amen.
And I had Bibles everywhere, and I had tapes playing. I was learning to read. I would listen to those white cassettes and then read and follow along in the Bible. I was learning to read. I studied later, and they said, for SAT, they said, you got a 3-year college level of reading comprehension. You ain't even been to college, and you got a 6th grade level in math. Can you explain that? I said, well, there ain't much math in the Bible. 12 disciples, 10 commandments. But I said, God is teaching me. Doctor, I said, sir, I told him, I said, sir, listen, it don't bother me, but I don't want you to lose your job. I can smell liquor. I'm afraid if you get in the wrong room visiting folk, you're going to end up getting fired. He said, I just come